You should.
I actually don't ever do that.
Oh.
Like, no, look, no, here's the reason why.
Because the answer doesn't matter?
What's that?
The answer doesn't matter?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
The other reason is this. I tell you from the very first day of class that you should focus on the concept, not the problem. So when I work an AP problem, I never look at the answers. Except for those rare cases where the answers are a part of the problem. You know what I mean? Like, I just always do the work. So I never remember the answer. Like, I've done this one over the years. I'm sure I've done this problem at least 20 times. I still don't know which the answer is. Because that's not how I approach it.
Okay.
And I want you to approach it that way. So, question? It's an antiderivative. Obviously does not fit a rule. So I'm going to try U substitution first. Raise your hand. What are the two multiplying functions? Hands up. What are the two multiplying functions? Come on. Don't be passive. Think
There,
with me.
raise your hand.
Nicole.
Is it e to the square root of x and 1 over square root of x?
Nicely done. Okay, how many knew it? Point, 2 for Nicole. The choice of U comes from one of those two. The derivative of your choice has to be the other. The thing people forget is your choice does not have to be the entire multiplying function. So we have a green multiplying function, we have a blue multiplying function. Our choice of U comes from one of them, but it doesn't have to be all of one of them. It can be all or part of one of them. But the derivative of your choice must be the other. So one more time. The choice of U must come from one of the two. It doesn't have to be all of it. The derivative of what you pick has to be all of the other. So anybody have an idea of what we should pick as U? Hands up. What do we want to pick as U? There we go. Logan.
U to the square root of x.
Stay with me. If this is my choice, is the derivative of e to root x likely to be 1 over root x? The reason I say no is the derivative of e to the something is always e to the something.
But you have to do p to the square root of x as well.
You do. So like if I
just give you 1 over.
yeah, think of it this way. You're going to get e root x. So when you take the derivative, you're going to get e root x multiplied by derivative of root x, which is 1 over 2 root x. So the trouble is you don't have, it's not really working.
But how do you get e from just 1 over x?
Hold on. Okay, that's a choice, but it is not correct. That's why it's not correct. Just talk to me if you need me to explain more. Like, we're close to the test. You got to keep asking when it doesn't make sense. Question? Stephen? Oh, you're ready for the next step. Questions here. The choice for U came from the green. The derivative of the choice has to be the blue. It isn't. So you have to make a different choice. Is there a U, Stephen, we can pick whose derivative will be the other?
Would it be the square root of x?
Square root of x. So if I say U equals root x, and he's thinking of this root x, correct?
Yes.
Now the derivative of my choice is the other, except for an extra multiplying 2. But a multiplying constant's easy to deal with. 2 points for Stephen.
Wouldn't it be 1 over 2u?
You can think of it that way. That's not going to help me, but it is true. 2 point.
Where did the 2 come from?
Oh, just the rule. The derivative of the square root of something is 1 all over 2 times square root of the something.
Yes, definitely.
2 point. Yeah. If you're struggling, the best way to get better and better and better is really to come spend time after school just talking about it. It really, really helps to be in a smaller environment where you can just talk and talk and talk until you're really getting a lot better at these problems. Then you go home and try to do another practice test, try to get better. So, ready? Awesome, so this is the correct choice of u. So we do some rearranging here, we're going to get 2 times du is the same thing as 1 over root x dx. Questions? So now we're ready to make our substitutions. Can I clear the board?
Of course.
Good? So the new integral is going to be e to the u, 2 multiplied by du. 2 is a multiplying constant. The antiderivative e to the u is just e to the u. So Spencer was correct. Question, please.
23?
Anything else here?
Once you have, you set up and just, you call it back in and you just take the antiderivative of it. And then if you have limits, then you just switch
It says, look, so take the antiderivative of this to get the
It's
position,
gonna sound-
right?
Look, I need you to see it for yourself. You're
Position
trying to,
of one.
you're always using the equal sign.
Equals 7, a position of 1 equals 2.
So you've got limits that are values of x.
It equals
You can change them to be values of u.
doesn't make any sense.
Right, see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's again, you gotta stay away from doing a step versus understanding the steps. There you go.
Do the same thing.
X is
Awesome.
7.
Spencer, you said which one?
20, or what was it? Meredith's asking.